be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. So if you want to sing that softly to yourself. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. I will hold myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. Sing that again. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. Now listen to this line. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Doesn't that just give you permission? I will only go as fast. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on and I will hold my heart. I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on and I love myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. All right, now let's affirm it and say, I am. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with and I rock myself. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. Again, I am gentle. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. Love myself. I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. So that's your anti-critic song. Next time your critic comes up. All right, I found this story. I want to share this with you. So a couple moves into a new neighborhood. And the next morning, while they're eating breakfast, the woman sees her neighbor hanging out the laundry right outside. And she says to her husband, that laundry is not very clean. She said she obviously doesn't know how to wash correctly. Perhaps she needs better laundry soap. Her husband looks on and just remains silent. And every morning, her neighbor would hang the washing out to dry. The woman would make the same comments every morning. Sometime later, the woman was so surprised to see nice, clean laundry on the line, and she said to her husband, oh my God, look, she learned how to wash correctly. I wonder who taught her this. And the husband said, I was so tired of you kvetching every morning, I got up early and cleaned the windows. So this is what my talk is about today, of taming our inner critic, about how much are we seeing the world through eyes of criticism of ourselves. Because when we do it to ourselves, we're doing it to everybody else without even being aware of it. And sometimes we're not even aware we're doing it to ourselves. It's like this habit. So this morning, I just have to kind of get this off my chest because it's just kind of upsetting me a little bit. Before I started, someone said to me, they said, this person said to me,
Okay, Karen, we love you being here. You know, they knew I was going to do a talk today. We love you being here. You're great and everything. But, you know, who are you to talk about the inner critic? I mean, are you a therapist? Are you a minister? I mean, what gives you the right to get up there and think you're going to engage people for, 20 minutes or something about this subject? I mean, how do you know about this? What gives you that credential to do it? I mean, we've got a great minister here. He could be getting up here doing a better talk than me. Musician, he could be up here singing better than you. What are you doing? So who do you think this person was that came up, this mean person in your group that came up to say this to me? So who's got that inner critic that at any time will just go off on you and go, who do you think you are? Yeah, no, you, Michael Hatfield, Mr. Perfection. So this is what I want to talk about today. And this talk is actually very selfish because I feel like the only thing, I could get upset with this. The only thing I feel I can do in this wacky world right now is just encourage myself and encourage you and encourage all of us to keep that light shining, to be that light in the darkness that is going on in this world. And if we are seeing ourselves through those critical eyes, we're seeing everybody through those critical eyes. If we're not loving ourselves, we're not being able to love someone else, even if they have a totally different opinion about politics and the world and whatever. It starts with love, and you know this. I'm just going to remind you of everything you know today. But it starts with loving us. That's why I wanted to do that little song, I Will Be Gentle with Myself. Because to me, that's what it's all about. And it's hysterical. I'll tell you a little story later on about this. But this song, this little chant, came at a time when I was beating myself up for something. And I called up a girlfriend. And I said, oh, my God, you wouldn't believe the stupid thing I did today. And she said, stop it right there. I will not have you talk to my friend that way. And those are the kind of friends you need that are going to call you on your stuff. Because a lot of times we'll do this, it'll be a habit of just beating ourselves up. That's why one of the most important lines in that little chant was, I will be easy on myself. When you mess up, what do? Do you just go, oh, it's okay, little sweetie, you're doing the best you can, oh. Do you do that? May I plant that seed with you? Right? Everyone do it right now. Just close your eyes. You don't have to look at your neighbor. Just go, oh, it's okay. Just give yourself a little pat. You're doing the best you can. I mean, could you imagine if every day you just said, you're doing the best you can? Give yourself a break. Lighten up. Trust the mystery of this life. And give yourself a break. So what is the main thing your critic says to you? Just yell it out. I want to hear a few of them. My favorite one is, who do you think you are? That just kind of like says it all. But give me a few of them. What does your critic say to you? What is that? What is that? Why'd you say that? Not good enough. Too fat, too skinny, too this, too that. All those things. Hurry up. You're taking too long. So when did this all start? It started when we were kids. When we were born, everything was like the world was all about us. Everything. If you needed food, if you needed love, if you needed to go poo-poo, if you needed to do anything, everybody was there to take care of all your needs. But pretty soon, around, maybe 3, 4, your parents and everybody started to make it be like, oh no, conform now to this, because we want to sleep at night. And we want you to eat at this time. So pretty soon you started to adjust to everybody's schedules, and then you go to school and you're adjusting to school. Remember when you had to ask for a permission slip to go to the bathroom? All those needs started to just be put into a little box. And all those voices that said to you, be this way, be that way, started to become internalized. And those voices that you hear right now in your head are a combination of teachers and parents and all the different things that you've heard in your life have internalized into your own voice. I'm going to give you a few ideas at the end of what you can do, but one of my favorite exercises that someone taught me is you take your iPhone or tape recorder, whatever you got, but your iPhone that has a message thing on it, and you just say loving things to yourself, like a minute meditation of like, oh, little sweetie, you're doing so good today. And you just do like a minute meditation. And as you're driving, like driving to work, you play that back. You just keep listening to these loving messages coming at you. And whenever I've done this exercise in a workshop, I always have someone raise their hand and say, well, I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't want to hear my voice. And then I say to them, well, what voice do you think you're hearing 24/7? It's that voice. What would you do how could you change that voice around that's giving you that constant negative talk? So one of the things that I want to do today is talk about that voice. And the buzzkill of this whole talk is the voice isn't going away. Sorry to say that. Because you'd think a talk like this, you'd say, oh, and by the end of this talk, you'll never have that voice again. No, it's going to always be there. But the difference is, how do you tame it? How do you dance with it? How do you incorporate it? And that's what I want to talk about. So here is the thing. I think to take it out of the darkness, we have to name it and claim it. And so my critic, her name is Zelda. And Zelda is great. Zelda came to me years ago with this resume and this job application. And she said her job title for me would be Chief Worry Officer and Professional Dream Crusher. Isn't that good? And here's what she said. She said to me, and this is all convincing, she said, I will be available to you 24/7, totally never taking a day off. I'm fluent in catastrophic thinking. I'm an expert at bringing up your worst moments from junior high and high school when you had acne and braces and were trying to be in with the in crowd, but you were really a geek. I'm highly skilled at comparing you to everyone else who's doing better, and 24/7 risk assessment. I will be there to tell you about what every single risk is going to be that you want to do. Now, before I really go into all this stuff, I think we need to give her credit, and credit for being there to just point out things that are going to happen, because he has kept you out of trouble, has shown you what could be the possibility. But here's the thing that I'm talking about. It's the choice. Who are you going to give the power to? If you give it to her all the time, where are you in all of this? Where's your choice? So one of the things that I found is that she's really good in the time machine concept, which is she loves to be living in the past and future, anywhere but the present moment, because that's where you can make decisions. And she, comparison game, tracks everyone else's wins and losses. And she's also a great fortune teller, because she has a crystal ball that can only see the worst experiences that I'm going to go through. Isn't that fabulous? So here's the thing with me. The way she works with me is there's 3 different things, and I want you to start to identify for yourself how he or she works you. In my case, it's the fog. What happens when you're in fog? You can't see anything. It's like if you're driving, you have to pull over. So all of a sudden, when I'm about to do a project, all of a sudden the fog comes in. And what happens is I can't see anything. And then that will go into confusion and overwhelm, and how totally convenient that anything I'm about to try, I can't do, because I'm just like, I don't know where to start. And it cracks me up, because I'm now at a point where I have 23 CDs out. You would think by now I would have it down, but every time I go in the recording studio, the fog comes in, the confusion comes in, she comes in saying, you suck, you can't do this. I actually wrote a song called Taming My Inner Critic, and while I was in the studio, I have the headphones on, and I'm hearing her say, this song sucks, you shouldn't do it, it's really not good at all. So I have to say, back off, this is about you. And, so I've learned techniques, and this is what I want to talk about. I've learned some techniques, and one of those techniques is you have to see how you can work her. And so what I have done is I take her to Starbucks, I give her a double Frappuccino, I give her a People magazine, and if I leave her there, but People magazine takes about an hour to read all the way through it, I run over to the recording studio, I sing my little song, and then I come back and get her like nothing's happened. So that's how I do it. So here's what I want to talk about for a second, is some of the things you can do to just tame her, tame him, bring it back. And so one of the things is acknowledging what they're saying instead of becoming what they're saying. So in other words, they're telling you you can't do this project, you can't do whatever. You get to say, I know you are there, I hear what you say, but that is not my truth today. Can we try that? I know you are there, I hear what you say, but that is not my truth today. Everyone, okay, I want you to get the attitude. Yeah, you got it, Michael. I want you to, everyone go like that, okay? I know you are there, I hear what you say, but that is not my truth today. Because the truth about it is a lot of the things that she's conjuring up, he, I keep going back and forth, is stuff from years ago. Old belief systems, old crusty belief systems that you are not that anymore. You're coming here every Sunday and you're getting enlightened by him. You should know better because that's old belief systems. You don't need that stuff anymore. You get to say, I know you are there, I hear what you say, but that is not my truth. The truth about me right now is what? So when I do my women's retreats, I have an exercise where we have to do this thing called drop and give me 20. And what that means is it's not push-ups. What you do is you have to walk around the room. Cindy's been through all this with me before. You have to walk around the room and you say, you know what? The truth about me is I'm fabulous. And your partner says, yes, you are. And the truth about me is I'm, a great cook. And you say back to her, yes, you are. And you have to keep going around to all these different people. Whenever I give this exercise out, you always see everyone glaze over, like they start to rehearse what they're going to say. And the buzzkill to this one is I say, and you can't repeat. You can't think about what you're rehearsing right now and say it over and over. It has to be something new every time. And everybody freaks out. And if you can't think of 5 things that you know is the truth about you, that you're a good friend or a good listener or a great musician or whatever it is, we got some work to do. And so, usually at the end of that exercise, people sit down and go, wow, it was really hard for me to, come up with things. That's an exercise to do every day. Look in the mirror and say, the truth about you is what? And give yourself that acknowledgement. I mean, that's one of my things that I think is so interesting in our world right now, is how we don't give ourselves credit. We don't give ourselves credit for things. Give yourself a standing ovation. I mean, if I were to listen to all of your stories, we would all bow down at your feet for what you've been through and what you've accomplished and all of that. So fast story of this. So it is an issue for me to give myself credit because I grew up in a family which was always about what's next, what's next, what's next. And you never took the time to just go, oh, I just did that. I was a competitive swimmer. Every meet was always, okay, the next meet you'll drop that time by 2 seconds. It wasn't like, oh, well, this is the time you did now. So I do a women's retreat every year at Unity Village. And this last year, the woman who ran it with me did such a fabulous job. She just handled every detail for me. It was so great. And I decided I was going to send her roses. And I did it, it was just this instant thought. It was like, oh, I'm going to just do this. I sat down, I was doing this, I was kind of busy, and I just did this really fast on the computer. And just as I hit send to the company for 24 roses, I realized I never put her name in. I put mine in. I mean, it said, bill 2, and I just saw that, and I don't know, whatever reason, as soon as I hit that, I went, oh my God, and I had this panic, like, oh my God, I blew it. And now what's really funny about me, whenever I do stuff like this, and I start beating myself up going, oh, you idiot, how could you be so stupid? Then I think, oh, wait a minute, you're the person who wrote, I will be gentle with myself. So then I have more shame coming on me going, you're a fraud, you're a fraud. So anyway, so I think, oh, okay, no problem, just calm down, take a breath, calm down. You'll just simply do another order, call the company, say I made a mistake, refund me that, and here's the new order. So I put her address in, did the thing, and sent it off. Well, I called the company, and I immediately sent an email to the company saying I blew it, like within 30 seconds. But it was a Sunday, they're closed, and I think the next day was a holiday. So by Tuesday, I'm calling them and saying, what's the deal? And they go, oh, I'm so sorry, the order already went through. You're being billed for both of them. So that gives me even more reasons to beat myself up because now I'm spending double the amount of money, And so I go through all this stuff, and I'm just all week long just chewing on it. Do you know what I'm talking about with that little chewing? That's like there's this little niggly in your head just going, you're so stupid. So finally, the roses come, and I open them up, and they're beautiful. And I I think to myself, here is one of those choices that you're talking about. I could sit there and every time I walk by these roses, beat myself up. Or I could totally reframe it and go, look what you did for yourself, you little sweet thing. You deserve these roses. I should send myself roses every week because my husband doesn't. But anyway, that's all of it. But I decided in that moment that this was going to be a turning point in my life because I realized that I've done this as a habit all my life. As I mentioned, 23 CDs. You know what I've done with those CDs? Every time the box came, I would immediately open it up and go, okay, yeah, it looks good, okay. And I would take it into the basement and I would just go, okay, now I have to start promoting it. And there would never be that moment of going. So I wrote a book years ago, and this was a big deal because I had never planned on writing a book, it just happened. And when that book came, which was really like birthing a baby, when that book came, no one was home, and the box came, and I thought, okay, you could do your typical thing of just taking that into the garage and just like, okay, I got to start promoting it now. But I thought, no, you're going to break this cycle right now. Because my inner critic's going, okay, get on it, you got to. It's like, no, back off. I'm going to celebrate myself right now. And so I opened up the box, I got some champagne, I toasted myself, I kissed that little book and said, welcome to the world, and I gave myself that moment. And I think that that's what we all need to do because your critic is always waiting to jump on you to show you what you did wrong. But how often do you combat it in a gentle, sweet way to say, look at what I'm doing that's great. Look at what I'm doing that's great. So that's some of the things that you could do is just allowing yourself to just congratulate yourself and also having friends around you that see your highest good at all times, that say to you, wow, look at what you're doing. Because so often we're so vulnerable. We don't want to say something to someone or even we don't want to brag to our friends. Find one person you could call up and go, look at me. Look what I did today. Because that's what it's about. It's about peace, isn't it? It's about having peace in your heart. And when we have peace in our heart, we can have peace in the world. So I'm going to leave you with one song here that I just thought of this morning that I wanted to sing to you, is that I truly believe, this is from the Course in Miracles, I could choose peace instead of this. That's a line from the Course in Miracles. I could choose peace. And so I can choose peace over that critic. I can choose peace over all the events that are happening in the world. So I'm going to teach you this chorus, and I want you to sing it with me because I think it's pretty important. I'm going a few minutes over. Is that okay? No, it's not. You're bad. You're bad. All right, so here's the chorus. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And I could see peace instead of this. That's the whole thing right there. I could see peace instead of this, whatever that is out there, you could choose. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And I could see peace instead of this. 'Cause when I feel lost and I don't know where to go, it's always up to me, 'cause what I focus on is what's gonna grow. And I could choose love, or I could choose fear. But if I want to be happy, the answer's so clear that, here we go, I could see peace instead of this. I
could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And I could see peace instead of this. When I'm feeling lonely, oh, I am feeling troubled and alone, but love is always with me, and grace will bring me home. 'Cause love is the healer. Love is all I see each and every day. Love is who I want to be. So I could choose love instead of this. I could choose love instead of this. I could choose love instead of this. And I could choose love instead of this. Go back to peace. I could choose peace instead of this. Whatever that is in your world, I could choose peace right here, right now, instead of all of this out there that I can't control anyway. I could choose peace instead of this. And I could choose peace instead of this. I could choose love instead of this. And I could choose peace over my inner critic, over the news, over everything I'm hearing every single minute instead of this. Oh, I could choose it. I know it. I claim it. I claim it right now. I am choosing it every single day. I choose that love, that peace, that joy over my critic, over the news, over everything that seems to be blue. I can choose. So here's the quote. My mission, should I choose to accept it, is to find peace with everything, exactly who I am, what I am, to take pride in my thoughts, my appearance, my talents, my flaws, and to stop this incessant worrying that I can't be loved for who I am, because you are loved. You could tell your critic one more time, back off, and so it is. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.